Joy in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is when you discover something, whether a Korok seed at the top of one of its many peaks, a shrine hidden within the landscape, or a rare plant amidst a forest, and not wanting to spoil it for anyone else who may or may not have discovered it themselves. Talking in vague terms, trying not to give hints about where or what you're talking about just in case they haven't found the awesome thing just around the corner. Discovery like this is only achievable in an open world game that contains very few limits to hold the player back. Gatekeeping in Breath of the Wild is gear oriented at first, with a paraglider consistently dangled in front of you as the perpetual carrot as you quickly wrap up the four shrines in the initial Great Plateau area. From there, you are only held back by temperature gauges, requiring the proper gear or meal preparation to protect you from the intense heat or cold. Everything else is fair game should you have the wits to make it. While much of Breath of the Wild shines quality, other portions don't. The inclusion of gyrocentric shrines that require you to move around your Wii U gamepad or Switch controller of choice, combined with unreliable physics, makes for a frustrating trial and error sequence that doesn't end with me feeling clever for solving the puzzle presented. Instead, it's a test of my patience for a form of controller input I thought that had been done away with when we packed up the Wii. Shrines are much shorter than your average Zelda dungeon, and perhaps a bit too short and too simple to solve. While I understand that there's a large amount of them to discover and engage with, approximately 120 total, I have found a majority of them to be unsatisfying to complete. Too many times have they required very little thought towards a solution. Most of the time, it's spent on placing the correct mechanisms to proceed, instead of fiddling around trying to actually find a solution. There have been some standouts, such as one that requires you to either memorize or take a picture of the layout of one to solve the other, or an electrical charge that has to be sent along the proper routes to activate. These have been fun to solve, but too many times the shrines have been quick dips into what I expected to be advancements of previously taught mechanics. Same for the dungeons, save for the Gerudo-based one. There are only 4 total, and 3 were completed in very quick fashion with minimal thinking. This doesn't leave a major markdown in my overall experience, thanks to a compelling overworld that is much more engaging than the shrine puzzles. Despite its expanse, it's also dense, and even the simplest of things like a Korok seed or a chest is fun to discover on your own. Sometimes you'll stumble across quests or unique situations that help make the overworld a standout from other similar open world games. Nintendo's charm shines throughout, and helps elevate Breath of the Wild further. The small jingle when cooking, the way Link sweats when he's running or climbing, and the face he makes when out of stamina. The way everyone in Hyrule is thirsty for Link, and many more things I don't want to spoil for fear of stealing that wonder of discovery from you. Breath of the Wild has a lot to offer, and the fact that I want to see the excitement when people discover them is what truly makes it a special game.